Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at the MOSAIC Safety Controller First Program Part 2. Now, detailed information contained in the video can be found at accautomation.ca. A link has been put in the description below. If you have not watched the other videos yet, there will be links in the description below to start you at video 1. There will also be links to the rest of the videos in the series as well. So last time we looked at our first program and we developed this program up that we see on our screen. And we have a emergency stop button, which then goes to our status output, which then turns on the light. And today what we're going to do is we're going to wire this circuit up and just look at our wiring. So the first thing we'll do is look at the actual hardware that we have, and what you'll see is here's my M1, and then we have our MOSAIC, which is our status output, and then we have our safety relay output. So that is our system, and we now have a emergency switch right here. So if we look at the wiring, last time what we did was we wired all of pin number 1 to the positive and all of pin number 4s to the minus. That's what our initial wiring was. So if I call up the wiring diagram, this is what we have here. So 1 was 24 volt and 4 was 0 volt. Now what you'll also notice is that we have black wires on pin number 2 and 3, which represent our master enable 1 and 2. And they are also going back to our 24 volt supply. So then we have our first input, which are our digital input, which is pin number 17. Now if we were to look back at our drawing, you will see that pin number 17 is the pin that it automatically specifies when we entered our program, and our output was pin number 8. So pin number 17 is on our stop, and then pin number 8 is on our output. So let's go back to that diagram here, and what we'll do is we'll take a look at our emergency stop switch. We'll pull that out, and I'm trying to flip that over. And what you'll see is that we have the blue and the red wire coming out, which is going to my lamp of my emergency stop switch. And then we see my black and my orange wire here are going to my contact of my e-stop circuit. So let's just try to put all that back together, or somewhat. So that is how we have this wired. So if we look, here is my output, my red, which is my status output, and it's going to the other side of my lamp, or one side of my lamp, and my other side of my lamp is coming off with the blue wire, which is going back to our 0 volt. So it is truly a PNP, so we're pulling that up to positive. And then for my contact, I have pin number 17, which is my orange wire, and it goes into my contact of my emergency stop switch. And on the other side of it, it goes back to my plus voltage. So that is my input. Now to actually see the diagram, this is what we have here. And let me just make that a little larger. So here is my input here. There's my e-stop. So my input goes off my 24 volts. So 24 volt to one side of my e-stop, and the other side of my e-stop goes to pin number 17 of my MOSAIC M1. Then if we look at our master enable 1 and 2, again they go right to 24 volt, which I have shown. Then on my output side, I have my status output 1, which is pin number 8, and it goes to one side of my e-stop lamp, and my other side of my lamp goes to 0 volt. So that is the wiring. So let's go back to our program here, and the first thing we'll do is now we will connect to the MOSAIC. So down the corner here, what you'll see is the MOSAIC, it says not present. So what we have to do first of all is to plug the MOSAIC into our USB and power it up. So we'll flip the lid here and we will plug this unit in, just like that. And let's turn on the power now. And what we'll see is just after a few seconds, you'll see our MOSAIC now says present. So now we are connected through our USB here. You can see that we are now connected into our system. So that's good. Now our state is unconnected, meaning that we're not really monitoring or doing anything right now. So the first thing we have to do is we have to connect to the M1. So we can use the icon right up here, or we can go communication, connect, and it will ask us for our password. Now we have 2 levels of password. Because we're going to be downloading the program, we're going to need the level 2 password. Now this is all capital letters and it's SafePass, SAFEPASS. We'll hit OK. And now what you'll see is down the bottom corner, we'll see MOSAIC present, and then we'll see the state connected level 2. So now the next thing we have to do is we will download the configuration, and up on my or send configuration. Up here on my main screen, you'll see my icon for send configuration. And once again, if we look under communication, we can say send configuration. And we have a notice alert as soon as we do that. And it says the installed firmware is version 3.1 and our configured firmware version is 4.0, greater than 4.0 or less than 5.0. So that means we have to change our configuration. So first of all, it gives us a warning to make sure that we do not download something that we're not, the hardware cannot support. So that's great. So we'll hit OK, and now we'll go back to our configuration. So what we can do is we go project, change configuration, and what we will do is under this note here where we didn't know where we had before, we are going to now change that, and we said it was 3.1. So we'll change it to that. So now it's 3.1, and we'll just hit OK. So now let's do the connection again. There's that configuration, and now it did a quick firmware check, and then we have equal. So now it says, are you ready to send the configuration to MOSAIC? We'll say yes. And now what it's doing is going to be writing the information from our program that we just did here down to our MOSAIC system. And you will actually notice that we have the communication light actually on our M1. So this takes roughly 15 to 20 seconds to actually send that configuration down. And it sends it, verifies it, and makes sure that everything's running before it says, okay, I'm done. And we will get a successful indication like we do right here. So programming successful. We can hit OK to close this window now. So we've successfully downloaded our configuration and our program. So what you'll notice here is that even though we're still communicating, we do not have a run light on yet. And that's mainly because the MOSAIC M1 controller will not go into run mode unless we disconnect and restart that project. So what we'll do is there's a disconnect restart button right here on the main screen, or if we look under communication, there's a disconnect restart. So we'll just hit that. And now what you'll notice is that our program is running. We're in the red mode now, and here we have a status indication light, blue. Everything looks good, and there's our output there. All right. So our status light is off, our emergency switch is off. So the next thing we'll have to do is we can actually, now we've downloaded, now we can actually monitor our system. If we go up here, again, we have an icon for monitor. And when we hit that, our password level comes up. Now you'll notice that it says password level 1 or level 2. For monitoring, all we need is level number 1. So we'll hit OK, and because we do not have a password on there, and the default is no password. So when you do that, what you'll see is our screen changes slightly, and we will have the a table with our on-off state that we can monitor. So currently right now, our input is off, our status output is off. So if I were to come over and we will turn on the switch here, you will see that now my input is on. So no one's hit the switch, and my status output is on, which causes my light on my emergency push button to be on. And we can see that right on our monitoring display here. So if I hit the push button, you'll see it automatically goes off on the monitor and off on our status, representing exactly what we see here in our diagram. So in order to go out of this mode, what we'll do is we will just hit monitor again, or hit exit, and then we're back into our regular mode. Now we're still present, but we're not connected. Next, we also have a graphical monitor mode, and this will do monitoring similar to what we had with our simulator. So again, it'll ask for a password. Level 1 does not have one, so we'll just hit OK. And what you'll see is now we have a graphical representation of what's actually happening with our hardware. So we're currently testing our logic out. So currently right now they're both on. What I'll do is I will release my e-stop and turn that on. And what you'll see is now our output is red and going to our status, and our status out is red or green, and it turns on our status. So you'll see that our lights are again active. If I hit the emergency stop, the status now turns back to red. Let's release that. And back to green. Now, in order to get out of this graphical monitoring, you hit the graphical monitoring button again, and we get back to our normal offline state. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below. And if you have any questions about the video, please leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer it. If you want more information about us, or you want our free ebooks on numbering systems or bus data logging, please click on the link in the description below to get it. A new video is put out every Monday, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get more videos like this in the future. Remember to click the bell beside your subscription in order to receive those notifications. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.